Okay, before I start this video, I want to address something. I do a lot of live streams, and when I do the live streams, you guys can't see the mouse or anything like that. So it's like you're watching me just build something out and you don't see the mouse. And I'm sorry about that. This is how OBS works. I don't know how to fix that yet. But there was somebody who came into my inbox who had bought the overprint generator, and they were saying that they don't know how to use it because the mouse wasn't showing them how to do it. And that's just something that happened. So I'm going to explain this real quick before I start the video. You want to open up the overprint generator. You want to go ahead and double click on this icon right here. You want to drop in your image. Go ahead and Command S. That will save out the entire document. Only you can prevent lost save data. Close out that screen. Go down here to this slider right here. This controls the front. Just click on that box right here. That'll bring up this tool, and you can slide that left and right and now make different colors. Retrospectively, you can do that for the other one right here and slide that left and right, and you can get the other color. Once you're done with that, just go ahead and export it out as a PNG, and you're ready to upload it on whatever t-shirt designer thing that you use for you. Okay, so today is something that I haven't done in a while because I really haven't done any challenges yet, and I really want to do this challenge because I'm doing web design a lot more, and I'm trying to move more into like the web design space. I've been working on CSS. As you guys know, I have been coding CSS and HTML, but you know, I kind of fall apart right at JavaScript, but that's because JavaScript isn't, and a lot of people don't understand that it's kind of math and all this extra stuff. It blows people's minds, all right? But they came out with this thing called Webflow, and Webflow is kind of like Adobe Muse, except it actually builds out good code. I think the code that comes out is pretty good, and a lot of people have actually thumbs up on it. And it's not just that one person discovered it and it was just like, oh, this is the thing to do. A lot of companies actually use Webflow as well. So it's something that helps you learn CSS and HTML and JavaScript. I said that backwards. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And it actually helps you start to think about how websites are actually put together. Now, what I'm doing today is not a tutorial at all. This is just a challenge. Even after this video right here, I'm still going to be doing some challenges. So let me know in the comment section below if there's a website that you want to see me redesign. But today I'm going to do the Nike challenge, and I just kind of want to walk you guys through it just a little bit, even though this is not a tutorial. Like, just know this is not a tutorial. This is 100% fan service. So if you guys like this one, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. But we're going to go ahead and head into Webflow. So here we are. We have this very blank document. This is pretty much just a body. Now, I'm gonna try to explain HTML to you guys as much as possible. But what happens here is we have a body, we have HTML, we have a head, and we have a body, and then we have a HTML at the bottom, which can also include like JavaScript, stuff like that, but that's nothing. Okay, right here is the body element, and basically inside of the body element is everything that you see. So if we go to like Nike.com, which we have up right here, everything that you see here is inside of the body, and that's basically what we're working on. Now, this does export good code. If I hit the export code, as you can see, there's a body tag, and then inside of, like I said, the jQuery or the JavaScripts and stuff like that, and then a closed body tag, which would then be closed out by HTML. I haven't upgraded this plan or anything like that, and that's because I'm just using it just to show you guys, but I will start doing client stuff right here in Webflows the moment I start getting that. So if you guys need a website, hit me up in the inbox, or you can email me. I think I have an email somewhere down there at the bottom that you guys can just email me at, and then I'll go from there with you guys on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and hit add element, and I need to add some sections in here. So if we go into the Nike website, this is what we have, right? We have like one section here at the top, which is the nav bar and all that stuff. We have pictures, which is one section. We have this, that's one section. This is a section. This one here is really tricky. It's not a section, but it is one picture. It is a column. These are two columns, one picture. It's really tricky. I'm gonna show you guys that one soon. And then we have another section and another section, and then a bottom section with some unordered lists and stuff like that. I think they have drop downs too. That's really cool. I won't be doing that. I'm just gonna not even worry about the bottom. And then we have this footer down here as well with an unordered list and all that stuff and some stuff. I'm not doing none of the bottom stuff. I'm just gonna do from here up to the top. And there's some things I'm probably gonna throw away as well, like the Nike Plus stuff and all that, because I don't really want to deal with all that. Probably not gonna use more than like men, women, and kids. And that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna do the drop downs either. Okay, so now that I got that introduction out, I want to explain to you guys some of the elements that's going to happen here. So Nike has like this navigation bar at the top, and it's kind of standard for a lot of website stuff just to have that navigation bar at the top. I want to go ahead and recreate that first, and I feel like this is kind of like a good place for us to start. I can just recreate that and then start start dropping in like the other pictures and all the other elements that you guys can click on and go to different places. So I'm gonna start working on that one right now. All right, so what we need to do is we need to add a section in at the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and print this section like this, and as you can see, it's creating that expansion or whatnot. So if I go into export code, here's what we got. So we have a div tag now added in front of the scripts or on top of the scripts. I'm gonna go into the add element section, and I want to create a nav bar. So we're gonna create a div block where I can put the navigation, and then I'm gonna go back inside and I'm gonna add navigation. So I'm gonna find that nav bar, which is this right here, and we're gonna add that in. And it pretty much completed this for us almost. So we have like the brand right here, and we have like the links for like, you know, home, about, contacts. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna name this to men, women, kids. So if I hit the I, this is what we get. I just want to make sure that this is flexed into the middle. I want to center justify all of that, right? And then I can build that out from there, like this branding. So I can just go ahead and slide that over in between like that. As you can see, it kind of pushes itself out. We'll continue to slide that out, maybe about like right here. Let me see if I put an image in right now. I choose my image, maybe this Nike logo. Yes, I want this like here. If I hit this, yeah, that's what it looks like. So just go ahead and line it down like this, and then pad it. And I can take the nav menu and also slide this over to the left. And that looks pretty good, right? It's in the middle, it's centered out. I think that looks pretty good. And when I click on like these different devices, it just looks like it's further off to the left like Nike normally would do. It's just, I want the Nike logo to be pretty much more inside the screen versus what they have off to the side. Like, I don't really like that. I like it like this. I think a lot of people like it like this. So that's pretty good there. Now what I need to do is I need to drop in a search real quick, maybe off to the side. Now if I hit this here, as you can see, it's going to be far off to the side like that. We need to go ahead and kind of fix this out as well. So I'm going to go ahead and flex this like that. Now this is a trial version. I can't really get it to look like this, I don't think. I think there's an actual button for this. I'm not going to be able to do it like this, but I can, I guess, maybe style it in CSS to make it look some type of way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into Google. I'm gonna look up the search magnifying glass. Like I said, I'm not really setting this up for real. So I'm just gonna go ahead and find this right here. We need a PNG actually, so I'll put in PNG. I'm gonna save this, and then I'm just gonna go ahead, choose an image. I'm gonna drop that image in here like this, and that's the image we're gonna use. See if I double click here, put it in the middle, fix. I can't really style it from here because it's all the way on the side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to first remove the color. And so now that we changed the color, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna double click inside of this, and I'm gonna make the width 50%. So now we got something a little bit like this. When I hit this, it looks like this. I need to get this on the other side though. So I'm going to go in here like this. We'll put the search button on top of the input so I can look at it better. And then we'll take out this here because that doesn't need to be there. And as a final, I'll fix the margin to look a little bit like this, and then we'll take that entire search section and bring it down. And you can type in whatever you want to type in, hit the key right there, and it goes, right? So just starting to look a little bit more like the Nike website, just a little bit, and then we can move the actual navigation back over to the right just a little bit more. Now this looks pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into here, and I want to make sure that this is a bold instead of everything here just sucks. I don't want to use impact. Well, I think maybe impact might be what they're, it's not impact-ish, but it's impacted. So I'm not going to say this is impact. I could probably change the color because I really don't like regular black. Like, you guys know me, I don't like black. I like off black. So we'll go down here to the styling for this. What needs to be done needs to be done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy all of that. Okay, so when I hit the button, this is what we get. And I can do some like other things, like if I want to roll over effects and stuff like that, I can do that, but I'm not really gonna worry about that too much right now. I think this is pretty cool what we got right now. I'm gonna close this up. I'm gonna create another section, and inside of this section I want to put in a div block, and then inside of this div block I want to put in the slider. I want to go ahead into the transform real quick, and I want to scale it back. I don't want it to be that big. I want it to be a little bit like this here. I want to put the slider in its absolute position. Okay, so it looks a little bit like this. Then I want to pull this section up because I feel like this section can be a little further up. and that looks good there. And then I can just go ahead and style this section as that gray as well. So hit the eyedropper tool and just click on the back of that, and we're good. So we'll make this white like this. There we go. A little crazy, doesn't look exact. I think I can make this a little bit smaller. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and fix this out real quick. I want to go ahead and go back into the transform, make it just a little bit smaller, push this up like this, and just kind of pull this out. But I kind of need it to float more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna position this more at the bottom, and also need to change the colors of this. So instead of it being white, it needs to be black. It looks a little off, so what I need to do is just kind of drag it out. So I'm gonna continue to pull it like this. And now with the background of this section, I don't want it to be this gray. I think I want it to be more of a little bit more of an off gray. And then I can change the color of the slider as well and make it more of that gray as well. So now that we got that navigation bar and it's pretty much ready to go, all I need to do is start working on the body. Now the body has different elements. It has like a bunch of pictures, it has some text frames in there. I have to be able to put the buttons in the correct spot. This is something that you guys want to spend some time on. This is not something that can be rushed, even though it's pretty simple to do. Now there's about 6 sections here. I know it looks like one big website design, but this is broken into different sections and there's like 6 of them. So what I want to do is I want to put these 6 sections together. I want to put images in them, and I want to put text in them, and I want to put the redirect buttons right in these so we can start doing this stuff. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into this element tag here, and I want to bring in a link block. Okay, instead of a div tag, I want to bring in a link block, and I want to drop inside of this link block a picture. We can drop in, I think it was this one, and then if I go back into that link block, I'm just gonna copy the link address and then put that link in there like that. And now this can be clicked on. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit command and click on it, and that's gonna take you right to the Nike marathon stuff. Looks pretty good. The next thing we gotta do is put this text in here. So I put a section in already. I'm gonna go ahead and drop in a div block, and then I'm gonna drop in a heading, and then I'm gonna take that div block. Make sure that you put your elements inside of everything. So I'll put everything inside like this, and it will do vertical, middle. We'll put some padding in. Keep everything centered. I'll put this at 150. This needs to be center aligned, so we'll just center align that. Make sure that this is center aligned, and then we'll just copy paste. So crazy dreams, outrun your crazy dreams. We'll put that in here right here. Train your fastest and all that stuff. We'll copy that, dump that in like that. Now the one thing that I'm having problems with is that these don't align up, and then also the text is crazy as well. So what text did I use here? Open sans. This was open sans, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the text of this. We'll change the color of this to maybe black, and then I'll change the text of this to be shop marathon gear. And that looks good, but I need to make sure that this section has some padding at the bottom as well. So we'll bring the padding out like this. Now moving forward, we have another picture. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drop that picture in. We'll just link block that in, and then with that link block, I'll put in a picture. I think the next picture was this one, and I'll go back into that link block and then set that as well. So let's just kind of check our progress. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit the eye to toggle this, and it looks as if we're building this out pretty fairly well. I think maybe this link could be a little bit smaller. Yeah, it is. So we'll click on that, and I'll transform it and scale it back. Right, I need to get that all for one up in here. So this is real simple to do, but it does take patience because you will mess this up. So what I want to do is I want to take a div block. I just want to put that in front on top of the link block, right? And then I want to take the heading, the paragraph, and then another button, and make sure that we can center align all of this. So I'm going to put this on a horizontal or a vertical like this, and then I need to center this block text as well. Actually, this is left aligned, so I need to actually left align this stuff. So we're going to go back into that div block, which would be div block 4 for me, and left align. We're just making sure that the padding of this doesn't go too far, because it looks like it's going to go far. So we're just going to go ahead and bring that maybe towards like about like right here. Okay, so this whole block fits like this, and I just want to move this in. Okay, so when I hit the look button, this is what we get. It's a little off, just a little bit, and we can change the color of these as well. Just go ahead and copy those texts. I'm just trying to make sure that this looks good as far as like text go. All right, so that looks good there, I believe. Okay, so this next section is just a little bit harder, and what we can do is we're gonna go into Photoshop, and I just want to open up this picture real quick. So I'm just gonna hit open and then pick that picture, that LeBron picture. Now this will be easier for you guys if you did it like this versus if you're trying to just put it in there in a div block and then trying to fix it all out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm hit okay. I'm gonna make some guides real quick. I just want to make sure that this goes, whoops. I just want to make sure that this one goes here like this, and that this one comes over here like this, right? And then with the slice tool, I'm just gonna go ahead and just line those up like so. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to export save for web, hit save, then hit save again. So what is gonna happen is it's gonna take all those three sections and make them into pictures. So now I can just come back in here, go into my picture layer, and then drag and drop those in. Now I can take the columns, a div block for both of them, and inside of the div block I can just go ahead and put in a picture. And then we just gotta pretty much move in our text in here as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bring in some text. You guys have definitely seen me just do this. But before I do anything like this, I really want to continue this out and finish it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and drop in the rest of these images, and then we'll go from there. Now before I finish this out, and I didn't do the text or anything like that because really I showed you guys how to do the text right here, and that's just extra work for me. I really don't want to do it. But before I finish all this out, what I want to do is just I want to make sure that this bar right here stays at the top, so it's kind of like sticky. So you know how like they do it right here. I want that to happen as well over here as well. So we're gonna hit the position on this section. As a matter of fact, I think on this div block actually, and then we could do something a little bit like this. So when I hit the eyeball, it just stays at the top. I pretty much created this website. It looks pretty good. I like the way that it flows. I'm not gonna continue this out though because it's not really my design, but it looks pretty good. It sustains, and if we scale it back, like everything seems to work in its favor. Like it's just moving the way it's supposed to move. That's Webflows. I think Webflow is pretty good, and I think you guys, if you were trying to get to web design, you know a little bit about coding, this is the best way to go. And that's pretty much it. So everything else kind of gets repetitive. It's more of like a drag and drop thing. But the one thing I want to make aware to you guys is that the code is coming out stable. It's not coming out like if you put it in here and now you got to float this to the left. Like no, you put the element in, you put the section in, the div block in, you put whatever block link that you got to put in right in here, and then you put in your picture, your text, and it floats together. It's almost like actually writing it out yourself. So this is one thing that I like about Webflow, and I probably will be using this more. I actually did purchase it, so it's something that I'm going to be doing a whole lot more of. I'll probably get rid of Adobe. But before I get rid of Adobe Muse, I'm definitely going to start putting out some templates for you guys. So be looking out for that. I want to make sure that you guys get some web templates, especially for Spreadshirt. I definitely know that Spreadshirt and Adobe Muse works together. I've been doing this almost since I started doing t-shirt designs. I've been using Adobe Muse and Spreadshirt together. But with that being said, you guys, hope you guys like this challenge. I'm definitely looking for some more challenges, so let me know in the comment section below. But I'm gonna have to get up out of here. So stay amazing, stay creative, above all else, stay awesome.
Wow.